everybody hear me? Am I getting amplification? Maybe starting? Okay. Sounds like it's maybe coming up volume-wise. Good in the back? Perfect. Hello, everybody. I am Drew Blundell. I am from the Teams product marketing team. And if any of you were in Ilya's keynote yesterday in the AI Megatrend session, you may have gotten a little sneak peek on the announcement of our new Teams events experience. And so as we are approaching this new milestone for how we allow organizers and attendees to experience our Teams capabilities at scale, we are going to talk through where we've been, where we're going in terms of the features that are going to be accessible and available. And then also, one of the things that we recently announced were some licensing changes that are going to hopefully make it easier for more people in your organizations to execute effective meetings at scale. So again, today we've had a lot of great programming already. I hope you come back and join us for Andrew Higgs' session in the afternoon. But again, tomorrow we have a full slate of programming as well. So hopefully see some additional familiar faces back for more of these sessions. And so again, what we'll talk about today is what Teams events looks like from a product standpoint. We'll talk about the features and capabilities that you might be familiar with in Town Hall and Webinar, and how those are going to be showing up in this new Teams events experience. And then bringing together this new product experience with how the individual users in your organizations can get the most out of Teams events. And then obviously some time for Q&A at the end. So when we think about the spectrum of scaled communications, especially in Teams, there are lots of different formats and types of events that are dependent on the needs of communication out to a particular audience, and then also what capabilities are required to make the transfer of information the most impactful for those audiences that you are trying to reach. And so as we look along the increasing spectrum of both complexity and also scale, I think a lot of people, and we hear from a lot of our customers, think about these as potentially different silos, where you may need a different product experience for small group meetings or work streams versus large tenant-wide organizational updates like an all hands, or global, internal, or external, or a combination of both communication. However, our prescription for Teams is essentially that there should be some solutions that are broadly applicable and effective, but also flexible to meet the needs across these different communications at scale. And so to do that, we are very excited to announce Teams events. And we have a little marketing sizzle to show you. That's a world premiere, so thank you for being here. We're trying to give you something back. Let me know if you can hear in the back.
Welcome to the new Microsoft Teams events experience, where discovering, creating, and managing online and hybrid events is easier than ever. Organizers now have more reach, control, and flexibility to deliver engaging experiences for audiences of all sizes. The new Events app in Teams is your one-stop destination to discover upcoming events, keep track of the ones you'll attend, and create your own. Event creation in Teams is easy and intuitive, starting with a single entry point for any event. If you need to set up an event quickly, pre-built templates make it easy. Choose from familiar formats, such as hosting a large-scale town hall or an interactive webinar. The new event creation experience gives you the flexibility to choose settings that best fit your needs through a streamlined, integrated scheduling form. Once configured, the event can be saved as a template for future use. You can also extend the reach of your event by directly inviting attendees and making it discoverable in the Events app. This is also your hub for managing events. No more searching through calendars to update details or track registrations. It's all in one place. Whether you're hosting a small community gathering, customer webinar, or global all hands, Teams makes it easier than ever to discover, create, and manage the events that keep your organization connected.
All right, so that was a quick tour of this new Teams events experience. But some of the highlights for us and the things that we want to drive home as differentiated parts of this experience are a new dedicated events app. So over the next few months, this is available starting in public preview today. So over the course of the next couple weeks, you'll be able to interact and try this experience out for yourselves. But over the next couple of months, the current Meet app in Teams will transition to the new Events app. And our goal, our intent, is to have the Events app be the one-stop shop for attendees and organizers for all your event needs. With that comes a simplified scheduling flow. So I mentioned it in my little preamble, and many of you that are frequent town hall or webinar organizers or attendees are probably familiar with the fact that those have currently different feature sets and different capabilities that are sort of purpose-built for different scenarios. With Teams events, that it all comes into one consolidated event scheduling flow, and additionally feature customization. So you're no longer gated into a single town hall format or webinar format. All of those features are broadly available in any event that you organize. Additionally, with that customization, we are now allowing those particular sets of capabilities and options that you need for particular use cases to be saved as a template for reuse to make it easier for organizers to scale their ability to deploy certain kinds of events across their organization. So you saw it in the video, but there are three main places where this new events experience can really have some significant impact. And the first is discovery. So event discovery in the past was based on more, I guess, hunt and peck methods, looking for individual event instances and then having to click in and click through details and to understand the context of each individual event. What we've done now is we've consolidated all of your events into a single pane, the Discover tab, which not only allows attendees to see which events they have access to attend within their organization, but also is a great way for organizers to boost visibility of those events within an organization. In addition, any event that you have attended in the past will be accessible in the Discover tab for easy access to things like post-meeting recaps, notes, follow-on, and additionally, as we'll talk about in the Manage stage, also allows organizers to go back and do follow-on communications on an event-by-event basis. So the Create flow is designed specifically to make it easier for event organizers to have full control over how they set up and share their event instances. So as you can see, as illustrated by this product UI, the complete menu of event capabilities will be available in a single flow, and it's dynamic and responsive so that the options that you select for capabilities that show up in your events are, if they're incompatible with the presence of other capabilities, it will let you know dynamically which options are compatible in the flow of scheduling your meeting. So it takes out a lot of the guesswork in terms of which features work with each other. And then, as we talked about earlier, moving from a differentiated town hall and webinar experience into a single Teams events experience means that there are more options for adding capabilities that previously were relegated to one or the other event experiences. For instance, if you wanted to have a large streamed event with registration, that wasn't possible in the past, but it is now. And then finally, in Manage, some of the new capabilities that we're introducing from a feature standpoint that goes along with this new experience are event landing pages for each event instance. And these are accessible both from attendees and organizers, and it provides a landing page to be able to both view the information as an attendee for an individual meeting instance, but then also for organizers to be able to easily find and manage the settings for the individual instances that they have already created. It's also the place for organizers to centrally manage all during, and post meeting or event communication, and also is a event-by-event specific hub for any metrics or analytics that happen during or after event instances. So across those three, discover, create, and manage, those are the three pillars of this new event experience. And we think that the new innovations that we've brought and that will be available starting today are going to make a big difference for how people find and interact with events. As I mentioned, all of the features that you're familiar with for Town Hall and Webinar will be available in the new Teams Events experience. So across attendee engagement, so all of your polls, Q&A, et cetera. Scale, the scale cap is still 100,000 concurrent attendees at its max. Management controls, being able to, within the course of an event instance, be able to take control over the stage and control audience and attendees. And then reporting and analytics, as I mentioned, will be centrally located in the event landing pages for ease of visibility. And then extensibility, those same places where webinars were extensible through third-party integrations are still available in Teams events. We do have a couple of new features to announce in addition to the experiential changes. There will be delegate and shared mailbox support. So for an event instance, organizers can delegate mailboxes for control and then also communication to their entire event team. So it is no longer just relegated to the organizer itself. And then, as I mentioned, the event details pages will be the central location for updating the status or the attendance or the details of each instance for organizers. And then the ability to customize domains for each individual event is now a feature that you will find in Teams events. And then co-organizer event management. So rather than just the organizer being able to go in and adjust meeting settings, now anyone that an organizer delegates as a co-organizer has all those same permissions to have full control and editability over any event instance. So a couple of the licensing changes that I alluded to earlier in the presentation, this is off the back of an announcement that we made about 2 weeks ago, is that all of the Teams or the Town Hall and Webinar features that were gated behind Teams Premium previously will now be available for anyone with a Teams Enterprise license. And so that includes streaming chat and reactions, insights, customization, eCDN, as well as immersive events in Teams. Though for immersive events in Teams, the product limitation of 300 concurrent participants still applies there. So the new base attendee cap of events up to 3,000 attendees is for non-immersive Teams events. These changes will be going into effect later this spring on April 1st. And the other component of the licensing changes that we have implemented are the introduction of attendee capacity packs. And so with the broadening of the not only advanced feature availability to a much wider scope of people in your organization to allow for sort of the democratization of event organization, we are introducing now the ability to scale up to 100K for the tenant level. So the way this works will essentially be if your organization is in need of events that go beyond this new base cap of 3,000 attendees, they'll be able to do so by purchasing an attendee capacity pack to the attendee limit that they need, and then assigning to the event organizer for those much larger scale streamed events. And you can see the attendee capacity pack sizes here. These will also go into effect on April 1st, along with the increased base capacity for anyone with a Teams Enterprise license. So between the changes, the improvements that we're making from an experiential standpoint, along with the new features that we are introducing in Teams events, along with this licensing that broadens the access and ability not only for organizers to be empowered to create more events at scale, we think this provides a great combination, a great foundation to start increasing the teams as the surface where you are planning events, whether they are organizational all hands or global internal and external communications. Teams events is the platform where we are going to continue to develop and bring these new features and capabilities to ensure that you're able to produce high quality professional events no matter the size and no matter the context. So I'll go ahead. I know I have a few minutes left, so happy to answer any questions. I think we have a microphone in the back.
Hi, thank you.
It's all good.
May I? Okay. The additional packs, does that apply, like if we get a license pack and we apply that to the event organizer, does that expire for after one event, or is it good for a year or forever? How does that work?
Great question. So the question was for attendee capacity packs, if those are on a per event basis. They're not. They're per organization per month in the way that we're licensing. So essentially the way that it will work is when you purchase a capacity pack, an IT admin will assign that to an organizer, but it is fungible and reassignable to different organizers based on the needs of whoever's planning the events. And so there are also in-product notifications that alert both IT admins and event organizers when they have planned an event that exceeds the capacity to let them know that they either have to adjust which pack they've purchased. But no, it applies to an unlimited number of events as long as you have that attendee pack purchased and assigned to an event organizer. Yeah.
Thank you. You talked about the Teams Premium features going to the enterprise model as well. What about the delay? So with Teams Premium, you don't have a delay in Town Hall. What about it in the new Teams event?
Yeah, so for Teams, any feature that was available in Town Hall or Webinar, regardless of whether it was just a base feature or whether it was behind the Teams Premium wall, it will all be available for anyone that has a Teams Enterprise license. The only exception there is that the AI capability that we have for Copilot in Teams events, similar to meetings, will require the individual Copilot license.
Currently, or on your roadmap, do you have any optimization tools for eCDNs?
So we unfortunately can't talk too much about roadmap beyond a certain window publicly, but for eCDN, we are only focused through the Teams events initial horizon through GA on increasing access for anyone with the Teams Enterprise license, and that optimization will come after we have broadened that access. I can neither confirm nor deny whether it is on the roadmap. Yes.
When you talk about the migration to Teams Enterprise, is that only Windows-based, or all the platforms running Windows as an app will actually benefit from that as
Great
well?
question. So it's universal. So anywhere that you were previously able to schedule or organize a town hall or a webinar, all of that will, your existing events will continue to persist as they appear now. Any events scheduled in the future will use this new Teams events experience. But there's no changes in terms of migration of events. With the caveat that one of the announcements we did make earlier this week was the retirement of Teams live events. So if organizations are still using Teams live events for their event needs, I believe the timeline for that is June of this year. Will not be generally supporting it, but Teams Live Events instances that have been planned through February of 2027 will still be honored as scheduled to minimize any disruption. So I'd say that's the only caveat.
Thank you. I have one question regarding the shared mailbox delegation that I saw in a slide. So if I understood right, if you send a meeting invite from the shared mailbox, does it automatically mean that the owners of such mailbox are set as organizers?
Sorry, I couldn't hear just after the first bit.
Yeah. When you send a meeting invite from a shared mailbox, does it mean that automatically the shared owners are put as organizers in the meeting?
I believe the permissions work so that an organizer would still have to delegate co-organizers, but once they've made that change in the event creation flow, then they would have access to the shared mailbox.
Okay, so you need to define first.
Correct.
When creating the...
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you for the presentation. We are using Microsoft Dynamics for managing our events through marketings. And I would like to know how we can link both of them.
So do you mind speaking just a little bit closer to the microphone?
Can we link both Dynamics 365 with this kind of events? Because currently we are using Dynamics for this. So.
I am not exactly sure in that particular case, but if you want to stick around after, and I can grab your information, and we can make an ask to the product team and about your specific scenario. I just don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So my question is whether do you plan to completely remove the Meet app, or you will still keep it for meetings, for standard team meeting related topics?
Yeah, so the Events app is intended to be a refresh of the Meet app. So in terms of where the product on-ramp for meeting creation, that will no longer be in the Meet app. And so it's effectively a replacement. But if you have already pinned the Meet app currently, anybody in any organization, you'll have to repin the Events app. Did that answer your question?
But what is still not clear to me is whether if you want to check like upcoming meetings, standard team meetings, whether this information will be also available in the Events app or just focus on the webinars and town halls?
You mean between events instances and meetings showing up in the same place? So I think, at launch of this new experience, the Events app will be primarily events that come from the Outlook. Well, so it's the same scheduling flow, both in Outlook and in Teams. But then also events that come from Viva Engage. But I believe that meetings are not part of the Discover page in the Events app. Another question back there.
So, no, is it, yeah. Does it mean that all the guests of our tenant will have access to that Discover page?
Yes, anyone who has a Teams enterprise license and is on Teams has access to the events page.
But our guests, the guests of our tenant, they are maybe not having a license from Microsoft. So meaning that we will have a discrepancy between.
Again, that's another for that specific case. I don't know off the top of my head, so I will make sure we get an answer for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Good question, though. Great. Well, thank you all for the time. Really appreciate it. Feel free to come up if you have any other questions that we can answer for you on events. Thanks, everybody.
And inference. It includes work data, emails, chats, which brings it all together, enabling Copilot to connect the dots to unlock insights and predict the next best action. You can even tap into Work IQ to build custom agents. It connects everything that matters inside your company and turns it into an experience that feels effortless, powerful, and personal.
Break down language barriers with the interpreter agent for more.